Alright, so we're going to come and stand right in front of our fabric. Just let it gently fall behind the body. Allow the arms to fall down behind the hammock. We're going to engage with our breath. Your sits bones are directly above your heels. Feet are parallel. Knees are nice and soft. Slight engagement in the low belly as we breathe in through the nose. And exhale through the nose. Arms coming up. Slowly slide the hands down the fabric, and you're going to lean back as you place the fabric behind the shoulder blades, tightening the glutes, pulling the low belly in. Clasp the fingers behind the head and allow the chest to stretch up to the ceiling, stretch up to the sky, opening the heart. Walk the feet out, gently bending one knee, pressing across to the other side, and gentle crescent back and forth. As your spine and your obliques begin to awaken, start adding a little more of a side bend as you reach to the other side of your crescent. Slowly taking our moves stargazer and bringing it back into the center. Walk the feet back, tuck the chin. Clasp the fingers, Jupiter Mudra, with the index extended as you take a nice big stretch back and over the head. Maybe you want to take a couple side bends here, that's optional. And then bringing the elbows down, grab the head and gently help the chin back down. Swing yourself back up to standing. Grabbing the front edge of the fabric now, unroll the edge. Gently shake out the fabric. Turn back to face the front. The fabric is behind you. You have your thumbs hooked in, and using your fingers and your thumb, grab 6 to 7 handfuls of fabric. Push it down, up onto the toes, and drop that apple bottom into the hammock. We're going to come into floating child's pose now. So the belly is going to pull in, the arms gently round behind the body. They fall to the outside of the fabric behind you, but keep the shoulders inside the fabric. They'll gently fold in and hang at the front edge. Drop the shoulders, roll them in, drop the chin. Note how this feels in your spine. If you feel any stitches, any cramps, anything is pulling, we'll bring awareness back to this pose at the end of practice today. With deep breaths. Gently lifting the body up. And then you're going to lean back, extend one leg up and over the other side of the hammock. It's okay if the fabric is uneven as we bend the knees. We're going to lift and try to place one heel on the edge. Your toes can be out. You see we have fabric in front of you. Don't grab the fabric in front. We do want to grab the fabric behind the head. Pull up with your arms, straighten the legs, and that will even the fabric out. Fold the soles of the feet in as the knees fall out to the side. We're going to take Gyan Mudra. Connect the index and thumb. Other 3 fingers are extended. Let the knees fall out. Elbows rest inside the knees. Wrists and hands are resting inside the ankles or the arch of the foot. We're going to bring our awareness to our breathing. Ujjayi breath allows us to focus, inhaling through the nasal cavity, slightly constricted throat. Hold the air at the top for a brief second or two and exhale through the nose. Breathe in. And out. Letting the stress of your day fall away from you, falling into you and where you are right now. Checking in with your body, checking in with your breath, and allowing to be in the present. Straighten the legs and the arms out to the side. And as you close them in front, you're going to exhale. Open wide, inhale. Close again, exhale. And then you'll gently release those knees. Let the hands go down by the feet. Hold the fabric steady as you release the feet out each side. Taking both hands, grab the leg of fabric in front of you. Lean back, push the fabric away, and pull the back foot across and over to the front, reaching up to grab both sides of the fabric as you gently bring yourself up. Standing now, we have the fabric behind the body. Take a step forward with one foot and a big step back with the other foot. Keep the hips and the feet in line. Take the back heel and gently lift it and turn it in so it falls in line behind the heel with that of the front foot. You're going to sink towards the front leg, imagining that knee is actually lifting towards the ceiling. Back leg remains straight and your heel is down. This stretch is all about the back leg. Try and engage the upper abdominals to keep the rib cage from flaring out. Try to keep the hips square. Forward hip is going to want to really push forward with that leg. Try to pull it back and set that sit bone down. Shoulders are relaxed down the back. Lifting the back heel, turn that foot so it is now perpendicular to the front foot. Your feet are in fact a spread out T. Roll the shoulders back and down, extend the front arm to the front, back arm to the back. Again, we're sunk into the front leg. This becomes all about the front leg now as we fight that knee over the front toe. Feel an opening in the hip and then the inner thigh. Imagine the back of the sit bone is actually pushing down and through the front of that leg. Take the gaze over the front arm. We're going to drop the front arm to dangle it inside the knee now. Back arm comes up to reach for the fabric. And as you adjust the fabric, reaching down that leg, here we are in Trikonasana. Nice and breathing, pulling that shoulder open and back of the neck pushes into the fabric. Go ahead and straighten that front leg if that's accessible to you today. If this is too much of a stretch, release it back to bent. We're going to bend the front knee again, arms back to warrior two. Adjust the fabric as required. Straighten the front leg, front arm reaches up as high as you can, grab the fabric, and then let that front knee sink back down as we come into an exalted warrior. Big stretch through the front and side of that rib cage. Feeling the oblique stretch, straighten that leg. Grab both sides of the fabric, take a big leap back forward and you're switching legs out. Other leg steps back in line with the hips. Again, lifting that heel falls in line with the front heel. Adjust the fabric under the shoulder blades as needed. Back leg is straight, front knee is bent. Hips are fighting to maintain square. Front hip is pulling back and fighting to reach downwards. Shoulders reaching down the back, elbows wrapped in and forward. We say hi to Taco Kitty as she comes into the frame, gives a scratch, walks over to the side. We're breathing. Lift the back heel now, turn the foot so your feet are now in an extended T. The heel of the front foot, straight line back into the arch of the opposite foot. Take those hips, trying to rotate the tail down to the floor. Shoulder blades pressing down to the sits bones. Shoulder blades, shoulders rolled back and down. One arm front, one arm back. All about that front knee again, trying to keep that knee fighting over the toe. Breathing, taking their time. Coming now into triangle, the front arm dangles in front of the knee, back arm reaches up to the fabric, adjusting as you need to. Allow the back of the head and the neck to put pressure in the fabric as the dangled arm pushes on the inside of the knee, helping it stay out over that toe, stretching through the inner thigh, keeping the shoulders and the heart open. See if you can straighten the front leg. Try to keep the arms where they are. You can adjust the neck, look up if that's comfortable. Maybe you want to look down towards the foot. We're going to gently release into the front knee as the front arm starts to reach up towards the ceiling. Back arm down to the back of the thigh. Adjust the fabric. Straighten both legs, reach up super high with the front arm. Once you've got a good grip, bend the front knee, stretching the front side of that body. Trying to relax the shoulders, lengthen the neck. Look up to where your hammock is rigged. Reach up now with both hands, pivot the body back to the front, and step the feet together. Fabric comes around now to the front. We're going to do a nice juicy little forward fold. So take the hands and the fabric, fingertips towards the front. Adjust that fabric so it comes to the hip flexors or in front of the hip bones. Make sure you keep pressure in the fabric as you reach forward with the hands. If you need to adjust and push that fabric down off your belly, now's the time to do it, or readjust and restand up. Spreading the fingers wide, keep the thumbs pointed towards each other, index and middle finger towards the front of your mat. You're going to gently walk the feet back. Your heels can be lifted, your knees can be bent. Take the tail towards the ceiling, up towards the heavens. Lengthen through the spine as you imagine the chest or the rib cage pressing towards the thighs. Keeping those shoulders out of the neck. Walk the feet forward and then walk the hands back to meet the feet. You're now supported under the plumb line, and if you can release the hands from the floor and cross the arms, allow the rib cage to just rest on the thighs as you hang out and forward fold. Take the fingertips back to the floor and walk the hands forward. Gently walk those feet back. Find your downward dog again. And you're going to take one foot, bending at the knee, and allow the foot to find the outside edge of the fabric. Wrap the toe and extend the leg up. Ignore the gentle rise and fall of the upper butt that is falling out of my pants. I'll fix that when we stand up. Meanwhile, you're breathing and you're in your one-legged dog. Maybe it's a standing split. The supporting leg just hops forward to a standing split, pressing the hips back. Take the torso forward, walk the hands forward so you can release the leg down. Come back into a downward dog, pressing gently just for a moment. We now take the other leg. Up it goes. Find the outside edge of the fabric. Gently push the hips back. If you're standing split, then you want to hop the supporting leg forward slightly and gently press the hips backwards into the fabric. Feeling a nice stretch in the hamstrings, stretch in the quad. Breathing deeply. Trying to relax the hips into the fabric. Take the torso forward, walk the hands forward, and lower the leg down. This part I love. Make sure your hammock is high enough, and this is a level of trust. Standing and reaching, lots of pressure into the fabric. You're an airplane, and then just let go. Find yourself a forward tuck and swing. Notice how free you feel if you're able to let go. Maybe you want to hug the knees in, tuck the chin. After a few times, this is going to feel just great on your spine. And then you'll place the feet, stabilize yourself, come back to that forward fold. Reach up to the hips with the hands, grab the fabric. We're going to roll up halfway, press the fabric in front of you and walk the feet back. We're in a nice little wide stance, forward bend. Palms are together. You're gently pressing that chest towards the thighs. You're aiming for halfway. If you can go a little farther, that's fantastic. Gently swinging the arms over to the right. Take a breath. Back to center. Over to the left. Take a breath and exhale back to center. Couple little cat-cows. So you'll inhale first. And then exhale, tuck the pelvis around the spine. And then inhale again and flatten out. Lead with the crown of the head to flat. And exhale, rolling up partway. One more. Inhale to flat. Elbows rounded down towards the floor. Exhale, roll, pull the pelvis and the belly button in all the way up. Reach up with those hands, grab the fabric. All right. And so we're going to grab this fabric now and take it behind the body. Just the pants. We want that fabric to be just on the back side of where we just had it in our downward dog position. So standing in front of the fabric, slide the fabric behind the hips. This is a trust level here. You want the major chunk of your butt to still be on the underside of the fabric. You're going to lean back and the knees go extra wide. Hands hold on. Allow your knees to come towards the torso as you flip upside down. We're coming into inverted frog. Your feet and ankles are wrapped on the front side of the fabric, or the posts. Knees are out to the side, and you're aiming for the heels to be as close to the sits bones as you can. You can take the arms and relax them out to the side to keep yourself from moving and spinning around. You can also challenge yourself here and give a little twist and move the legs from side to side. Or you can do as I'm doing. I'm just changing my arm position, trying to relax my hips into the fabric instead of trying to hold myself in a certain position. We really want to relax through the hips, and only then can your spine release. If you'd like a good chest opener, take the arms behind the back, clasp fingers, and then allow the arms to fall straight with the hands working towards the floor. Feel the opening in the anterior deltoid or the front shoulder muscle here. Also a great heart opener. Allow the head to reach, crown towards the floor. We're going to extend into half pigeon. One leg extends out to the side. Keep the leg as straight as you can and flex the foot, working energy out through the heel as we stretch through the calf and the hamstring. Try to breathe deeply into those muscles. They're working so hard for you. Exhale and you can bring the leg in. Inhale, reach the other leg out. Keep the foot flexed, energy shooting through that heel, breathing into the calf and that inner thigh. Relaxing those hips into the fabric. On your next exhale, you'll fold the leg back in as the ankle finds the front side of the fabric. So do that again now with the original leg. You're going to take the leg out to the side and behind the body. See if you can grab a hold of the top of the foot or the ankle. Option for one arm, opposite arm, both arms. Listen to your body and your hips and do what feels right. This is heavy duty on your quads as well as the ligaments that are attaching the muscles around the knee. Bring that leg back and in. Other leg goes out to the side, around to the side and to the back. Coming into pigeon. If you've got a cat, chances are she's around your face wanting some love. That's my taco kitty. Working in your pigeon. Oh, she's so silly. All right, release the hands, release the leg, both ankles now. We're going to release both legs out to the side. Relax through the hips. Kitty lift up, kitty put down. It's like okay taco. All right, reach the hands up to the insides of the thighs or the inside of the knees, maybe the calves. Heck, maybe you're going to loop your yogi fingers around those big toes. You're going to go for the ultimate inverted saddle stretch. That's right. It's hard and it hurts and it only gets better with time. So keep practicing this. Keep working forward to it. Release the legs. Bring those feet back. We're going to try something. This is where you can hang an inverted frog, or you can bring the feet and the knees together through the middle. Ladder climb the arms up. Use the strength of your legs to pull yourself up. Take one arm and the same leg and extend them out to the side. You feel like Sagittarius, maybe a bow and arrow type pose. This is a wonderful stretch. Try and breathe into that leg. Keep the arms stable and keep that shoulder locked down. Gently relax them down. To the other side, extend arm and leg. Keep the neck lengthened. Keep the chin parallel with the floor. And then you relax down. So here's where we can take the arms high and in front of the fabric. Reach both arms to one side. An opposite arm is going to stay up on the fabric as the same arm and leg reach over to the side for a little side split stretch. Big deep breaths. Reach up with that arm, switch over to the other post of fabric. Now your body's in front of the fabric. Opposite arm holds on. Same leg as arm is going to stay extended to the side, reaching over, little side bend. Now remember, this is a bit of an intermediate class, so if this is a little bit advanced for you, I urge you to just lower yourself back down before moving on. Body comes in front on one side, keep the legs together, and they come back up through the middle as you complete a pike somersault. Try the other side, lift up, down, and through. Legs together, bring them through the center, scissor them open, use the arm strength. Whew, that was one on each side. So your fabric gets pretty wrapped here. I only do one, and then let's come back down. This is crazy town. So I just did a complete flip. Try and lower yourself back to the front. Like, oh my God, hook the feet. Ah. You got this, okay? Yeah, swing down into pigeon. And there it is. So when you feel like there's no hope, go forward, diagonal, and grab a pose. And release that. Legs go wide. Just walk the hands, move them around. You're going to reach up, grab the fabric inside the knees, pull yourself back up. I always hang out here just for a second. Release the back and the ab muscles. Okay, so take one leg. Now we're into a tricks portion of the night. One leg wraps around, and then it's going to straighten as you bend the other leg. Lift up in the fabric, bent leg straighten, swings up through the posts up and over. Okay, hanging here. Bring that leg back up and over. And if you can, reach it up and over the fabric as we come into Pegasus. Big stretch here. And now through, forward you go, into chandelier twist, and down you go. All right, so holding there. We're gonna pop out of the fabric, readjust, because we do need to rebalance kind of the head and the blood pressure. So have a little bit of a hangout time here in Stargazer or Star Watcher. Reach those arms above the head, stretch the front of the belly. Your abs are working hard, the back side of your arms are working hard. Okay, a little bit of flying eagle as you reach forward, hold the belly in, squeeze the belly in, and back up. Okay, so we had a couple flips in there. We want to make sure that we take the fabric and get all the twists out, adjust it. We're going to come up standing, one ankle goes in. We're going to do a little bit of ab conditioning and into some plank. So with one leg up, inhale to prepare, and as you exhale, you lift the other leg up. It can either rest in the fabric, or you can take it to the side like I have. Reach it forward to the elbow, back out to plank. Breathing wide, keeping the shoulder blades super wide. You adjust the feet, so bring the foot in and switch it out with the other one. Or if both feet were just in the fabric, you're going to keep them both there. So a pike will try and pull those hips up above the shoulders. I'm just going to throw this out there. I love these new tights, and I'm so going to go back and buy some new ones because that's extra cute. And then flatten the bottom back out. Pulling in that belly, thumbs pointed to each other, index, middle finger straight up to the top of the mat. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Drop one leg out. We'll have a little pigeon stretch here. So plant the foot down, try and turn the leg out, knee out a little bit. Press the body and the hips forward as we take a nice stretch, filling it in the back side and the glutes, opening the hips, stretching the back, stretching the arms, breathing deep. Take the weight of the body forward. Keep the forearms on the ground for this time. Inhale and then exhale to lift. Drop the other leg out. Drop the knee. Try to bring the heel higher, closer to the top of the mat. And then press the hips back. Stretching the arms, stretching the back. Try and relax the head and the neck out of the shoulders. Big deep breaths. Reach forward with the body. Okay, exhale to lift the opposite leg as we come into headstand. So using the fingers laced at the back of the head and the elbows nice and wide, pressing up through the shoulders, lengthen the neck, trying to come with the hips right over top of the shoulders. So either holding here in assisted headstand or extend one leg up towards the ceiling. And if you wish, bend the leg and start displacing the weight of the body, trying to come into an unsupported headstand. Breathe, pushing up through the shoulders, and then gently bringing the leg back and into the fabric. Relax the hips down and then press them back up. Opposite leg now. If you choose, reach those toes up to the ceiling. See if you can hold this. Maybe you keep your leg bent. Ignore the dog. He's not very chillax. Oh, look at the kitty in the video. That's Sultan. We're salty. Balancing. Take the toes back in the fabric. Hips up over the shoulders and then pressing back down. One knee out. Gently drop the other knee out. We're going to rest back into child's pose. You can either reach the arms forward here or I like to wrap mine back around my heels and my feet, elbows fold outside the body and towards the floor, and shoulders round inwards towards the ground. In a nice shell pose, couple deep breaths, allowing the body to relax. Maybe this is your evening practice, maybe this is your morning practice. Either way, be happy that we get to practice aerial yoga. So grateful to have found this, to be working my body in different ways that I didn't know I could. Hands now come up under the shoulders, and let's roll up as we push the hands into the floor. Grab up, reach up, grab that fabric and pull yourself up to the knees. And then folding the toes under, pulling yourself back up to standing. All right, take one knee now into the fabric, letting the foot hang over. And we're just going to take a gentle little knee hang. This is also Warrior One. A little bit more advanced though. If it's too hard on the leg, you can take the fabric and wrap it up the thigh into a thigh wrap. So after that, you come back up, take the fabric down at the ankle, stretch into a little forward standing split. Allow the hands to help you control. Pull the weight back up, turn the knee out now. Side of the ankle is in the fabric as you come into bound angle. And then slowly reach the foot and knee and then the hip forward. Head comes through the center of the fabric. Try and release into that hip as you exhale. Try not to keep any tension in the hips. Pull those toes back to the knees. Help protect the knee. Breathing deep. Next exhale, push back up to standing. Straighten the leg. Now we're going to turn ourselves around, so you're still hanging at the ankle, but facing the back now, bringing down into a crescent lunge. Try to keep the hips and the foot pushing back into the fabric to maintain a safe distance for your knee above the ankle and not past the toe. And then pushing up gently, bringing the heel towards the bottom. You might want to hop underneath your plumb line, slide the hands down behind the shoulders, keep the elbows together as you reach forward, pulling the leg up behind you into dancer pose. Trying to breathe even though the ribs are extremely expanded. Open the heart, allow the expansion to happen, and then slowly and gently control yourself down, slip the foot out, and turn around, and other leg now up and in, hanging behind the knee. Forward into Warrior One. We're a little looser now in the hips. We should be able to hold this. Remembering you can thigh wrap here if you like. Breathing deep. Push the hips back up. Now down to the ankle. Reach up nice and high and relax the shoulders down. Control yourself forward. Try to keep those elbows facing as forward to the front as you can. Forward standing split. Feel the hamstring, feel the quad. And then push the weight back over the supporting leg. Knee out to the side now, hooking on the side of the ankle. Pull the foot in towards the opposite thigh and allow the toes to fall down towards the floor. Flex the foot and then lead with the foot, knee, then the hip towards the front. Trying to relax that raised knee and hip downwards towards the floor. You can drop the head if that's comfortable for you. Bring the weight back up. Ankle is in, drop the knee and around down to the floor as we turn face the back and drop into a crescent lunge. Pressing the foot and the hips back, maintaining that safe distance. Knee isn't past the toes, should be somewhere above the ankle. Big deep breaths, and easily and slowly you're going to push yourself back up. Hopping back to the plumb line if you need to. Hands down behind the shoulders, elbows close, and reach forward with the torso. Hold on with those hands and lift that foot behind you into dancer pose. Stretching and breathing into that leg. Nice and open in the hips, open in the shoulders. Feel the arms working. And slowly relax back and down out of that. And lower the foot. And turning around now. Taking one foot up and in, you're going to pull yourself up. Coming into full bound angle. This is also called butterfly. Knees go wide and the body is behind the fabric. Soles of the feet are together. Reach high first and adjust the shoulders to the front side of the fabric. And then you can lower the hands down towards the hips, pull the belly in, slowly lower yourself down to the floor. So from here, arms down. Trying to take the hands towards the floor. For reverse Anjali Mudra. Pressing the palms together, trying to relax through the wrists and the elbows and the shoulder joints. Take deep breaths. Again, trying to allow the hips and the ankles and the feet to relax. Good old Rufus Barking. You can release the hands, reach up behind you, pull the belly in, pull yourself up. Reach up high with the hands, shoulders come behind, and then you can lean back, push the feet forward, and then come into seated position. So we're going to take a break here and come into eagle legs. And crossing one arm across and one leg across. Note how we're stacked, reaching out, opposite way, quick little stretch, cross, cross, and if you can only cross the knee and not the foot, that's fine. Crossing those arms, now opposite way. Now the closer your hammock is rigged together at the top, the easier this will be. You're going to pop out. Reaching up, sliding the fabric out and around to bring it in front of you. Keep those wrists locked in it and reach forward. Flat back, legs straight if you can, tail and sits bones out. Walk the feet in, bring it down to the knees. So bring it up if you need to reach a little higher. Reach and pull the body back, press the hips forward. Assisted camel, back up. Now for a little bit of leg stretches. So you're going to lay yourself flat onto the floor and reach one leg up into the fabric, being supported at the ankle. Once you've adjusted your shoulders and hips so they're lined up and stacked, you can pull one knee closer to the chest. And let's imagine that we've got a little space here under our low back. So sits bones shooting right out behind you. So we naturally have a curve in our low back, and we're going to try and maintain that low curve as we stretch. So opposing the curve would be imprint. And that's if your belly pulls in and you roll the spine towards the floor. You don't want to do that. Rather stick the tail out, lift the low spine, engage the upper back with the floor. Neck is also lifted off the floor, back of the head is connected. Take the leg, we've reached it up, ankle circled, extend it out to the side. I like to keep mine bent here, keeping the hips flat on the ground. Then bring the leg across the body, adjust the hips, Keep the knee bent and gently pull that leg towards the torso and the foot towards the floor as we have a little twist of the body. Trying to breathe deep into the spine. And you can bring the leg back, place it in the hammock, and we're going to switch the legs out. So other knee now comes into the belly, into the chest, making sure the hips are square under the chest. You have that little mouse house or space below the low back. Extend the leg now with the foot to the ceiling. Do a couple little ankle circles one way. Pardon me, and then the other way. Still breathing. You can flex and point the foot. Bend the knee back down. And now with the same side arm, take it over to the side of the body. Opposite arm reaches out to the side. Help control the shoulders stay flat, hips stay flat. Trying to breathe normally. Now if it's comfortable for you, you can take the head and gaze away from that leg. You don't have to. And bring the leg in. Bring it across. It's easier to straighten the leg and cross it first, lift and twist the hips, and then pull the knee up and over. Again, opposite arm is still reaching out to the side, trying to look away from the twisted knee if that serves you today. Otherwise, keep your head in neutral with chin slightly tucked. Back of the head engaged with the mat. Back of the neck slightly lifted. Breathing into that outer hip and that glute. And slowly releasing it back to center. Adjust those hips if you need to. Both feet find themselves in the fabric. Arms are nice and wide. Walk those shoulder blades under the lower back so they're nice and flat. Keep the belly pulled in. Roll the hips up off the floor. Squeeze the glutes. Keep the belly in. Hips are pushing towards the ceiling. Say hello to your kitty if she's there. As you exhale, you'll bend the knees and straighten them out. Okay, again, bend the knees, inhale. And exhale. Push them out. One more in. And exhale, squeeze, lifting the hips up higher than they were before. And lower, lower, roll, roll, roll. Nice and soft. Hips back down to the ground. Hook at the knees now. So pull the fabric closer with one back of the ankle and then hook the knee, and ladder climb, knee. Pull yourself back up onto the hammock. Come around now to the front. Good hard work, you guys. That was crazy town. Allow yourself to turn around. Thumb, finger, hands. Scoop yourself up and in into the fabric. Having a little bit of a blurry, challenging motion problem here. It's because I used a selfie camera. Looks for autoface focus. Okay, so we're laying down in the fabric. You've made your bucket seat. You've sat down in it. You can walk the hands up the back edge of the fabric, bring it out to the side, make your bed and lie in it. I use my heels from time to time to walk the fabric down the legs if I need to. And then that helps me extend and maintain comfort. So as you come into Shavasana, allow yourself to take a moment and be grateful. Grateful for having this wonderful body. Maybe you were able to do everything in this video. Maybe you found a couple challenges. Maybe you have a couple questions. I'd love to hear them. Either way, Your body has literally served you in a most amazing way. Your aerial yoga class has detoxified your body. It's assisted to elevate your mood. Your spine is decompressed. We've got extra fluid in the spine now, which is going to aid you in movement for the rest of your week, maybe just until your next aerial yoga class. As we lay here, our nervous system has a chance to actually heal the body as long as we can give it a chance to relax. It's not responsible right now for any other movement. It doesn't need to move your arms, it doesn't need to talk, it doesn't need to walk for you. So try to relax all the muscles in your arms and your elbows and your necks and your shoulders. Relaxing now through the belly, feeling warm, soft, fuzzy, feeling behind the belly button. Warmth spreads down through your legs to relax the thighs and the knees and the calves. Feet are completely relaxed. If you need to wiggle the toes or anything, now's your chance. And allow the feet and the ankles to fall at a nice resting place. As you bring it back to the beginning of practice where we focused on our breath, breathing in and out. Using the back of the nasal cavity slightly constricted in the throat. Breathing into the third eye, located in the middle of the forehead between the eyebrows. And as you exhale, feel the tingling in the scalp and the hair follicles as you try and imagine exhaling out the crown of your head. Taking the hands, clasp them together and reach them out above the fabric over the head. Jupiter Mudra again finds the index fingers extended, other fingers are laced. Little side to side bend, bringing the feet towards the hands and the hands towards the feet with straight legs and straight arms, folding at the hips and the torso. Next, we're going to come into some side bends. Allow the knees to come to the side as we bring into a fetal position and then extend the legs, reach for the feet, grab the toes if you can. Maybe your knees are still a little bent, that's okay. And come back through fetal position, reach up with the hands to help move the torso first and then the hips and the knees over to the other side. Bend the legs, little fetal position. And then extend the legs, keep your forward fold and see if you can grab those feet. Little side hanging forward fold. And again, reach up with the hands, bring yourself back onto your back. Hips are normal, walk the legs through and pull the body up. Let the arms fall out behind, belly comes in, round the spine, chin and forehead down towards the thighs or the knees. Finding ourselves in floating child's pose once again at the end of class. Deep breaths, noting how this feels different in your spine. You must feel much looseness. And sitting back up. Reach up with the hands, grab the fabric, straighten the legs, pop out. Reach up. And palms together, hands to heart. Thank you so much for joining me today. The light in me salutes the light in all of you with Namaste.